Hi, beautiful soul. Hi, gorgeous. This is one of those days where it seems difficult, more difficult than normal, to just do the videos. It is about the persistence of self-doubt, insecurities. It can be really a lot of things that usually stop us from going forward on our goals. I put these flowers and then we continue. We generally talk about that creation of the new version of yourself. But there are phases, and this is one of those phases today for me, where you feel a low, right? I call it a low. You don't feel like your usual self, and so it needs more energy if you want to create anything. Or you just feel like resting. There's always a trigger, right? It starts with a trigger, and then your mind starts creating a story, and then you go in a downward spiral. From that story, you change your behavior. For example, I didn't have a long night, so I went to bed like 2 o'clock. I try not to do this too often, but yesterday was such a day. And so I wake up and I feel a lot of self-doubt. So I've lost my self-belief. I'm not even sure that what I'm doing is going to work, right? And it's not a new thought, but it's something that comes from time to time. And all the self-development things are here to help us navigate that. The self-doubt, it comes with the imposter syndrome. It comes with all the insecurities. You start feeling like you are not good enough, like a person, like a parent, like a partner, like a teacher. And so what is happening is that you are going in a downward spiral. This happened to me this morning. What I did to be here in front of you and doing this video is what I want to share with you. So first of all is to recognize that this cycle can happen, right? It can be any trigger. For me, it was like not getting enough sleep, and it's a pattern that I've also recognized, so that I've decided, okay, I really want to prioritize my sleep. We are just human. I am just human. It means that I will accept that side of myself also when it's there. The same as accepting those emotions and looking at them, sitting with them, processing them, right? Journaling also. Like I say in my video, how to journal to become unrecognizable. It can be the same for you. You can decide if you want to process those emotions on a page, on a loose page that you will throw away later, or if you want to write them in your journal that you will keep as a reminder of, oh, that day was really tough, and maybe you will say, and I still could do what I wanted to do, right? Or maybe that day was really tough. I really needed some rest. Processing those emotions mean that you are writing all those thoughts, all those negative thoughts, sad feelings. You write them down so that you can take them out of your mind, out of your soul, and into that paper. No judgment, you just write them down. Suppose that nobody is going to ever see what you are writing, so just be free and just be true with your open heart to just write everything, because you are actually releasing, liberating yourself, letting go. That is the first step, journaling about those things. So write them down, and it will go in an avalanche. Like you start with one feeling and then you see, oh, there is something else behind this. So for example, for me, I was like, oh, I'm stuck again at 300 subscribers. I don't even know if I'll be successful on YouTube. I don't even know if it makes sense to continue doing my courses. I just want to stop everything. I just want to rest. I just want to throw everything to the window, right? And it's vulnerable for me to talk about that process, because normally when I come up to do the video like I am right now, it means that I've turned that page. It means that I'm no longer thinking those thoughts like, am I ever going to be successful? Actually, I still do. I just felt that pop out in my mind like, yeah, you are probably not going to succeed, right? And this is my own personal challenge to increase that self-belief, right? Because I love to stretch my goals, right? And when I'm stretching, it is like the resistance becomes bigger. So in your own life, for any goals that you have, the more you want to go to the next level, the more the resistance is going to get bigger. That resistance can come in the sense of you lose your self-belief that you are capable of achieving that. You start seeing evidences why you are not going to achieve that, like feeling stuck in my case, right? You start seeing all the things that you are not doing well in your life, not the way you wanted to do. And so you feel like, oh, this is not going to work. Here are the evidences, right? So recognize those evidences, embrace them, write them down on a journal. So the first step is to write them down, but the second step is to say, okay, I see all of this, and do I want to continue in this direction? Do I want to feel this way? Or do I want to feel differently? Do I want to change things, right? So step 2 is the decisions that you are going to take. What do you want to do differently this time? So when you know what you are going to do differently this time, a little example is that recently I've noticed that I could show up more confidently in my videos, more authentically, more raw. And this is why I needed to call my white self on board, right? So I also advise you, when you feel like you are not good enough and all those imposter syndrome, go back to your authentic self, what I call the raw self, the wild self, right? No need for artifice, just you. You, like you are enough. So no need for makeup, because in the subconscious mind, it can mean that me putting makeup means that I'm not good enough without makeup, right? But it's not the case, right? But in that phase where you are already in a low self-esteem, low self-trust, low self-belief, it is more probable for you to think, yeah, I need my great clothes, I need my great makeup, I need my great hair in order to feel worthy enough. So in order to go against that, you just show up the way you are. You just show the raw version of yourself. And that means if you can show up like this, then you are really showing to your subconscious mind, we are good enough exactly the way we are, without all the artifice. Or you can also say, okay, I want things differently. I want to show up more confidently. So I will just come and do my video and share something more vulnerable, more authentic, right? And also another step that I took was go outside and buy myself some flowers, right? It's a small gesture, but it's showing me you deserve to have the things that you love, right? So what is it for you? One step, one decision that you can take that will take you in the direction of what you really want. One thing that is going to make you feel like, yes, I'm going in the direction of what I truly desire. It can be something small, like buying yourself some flowers, or it can be something like start cleaning. If, for example, your environment, like mine, is chaotic, then you start cleaning, for example, your closet. And one book that I recommend for this is Marie Kondo, The Magic of Tidying Up, something like that. So embracing your wild self also means that you are saying no to perfectionism. You are saying, I will do less perfectionism in order to be able to move forward. Because the perfectionism and the fear of making mistakes is something that can hold us back. Even if you are going to make mistakes, even if it's not perfect, just go for it. And sometimes we are already beautiful the way we are, but we think, oh, I need some makeup to elevate myself, which can be beneficial. But in such times, to quantum leap, it's better to show your raw, authentic self, because then your subconscious mind understands it is safe to show up the way we are. And so there is no resistance anymore to showing up with your makeup later as well. And then my next step is to choose self-trust. You know that to build our self-trust or our self-discipline is about doing the actions long enough, and when we say we will do something, showing up to do something, this increases our self-trust, this increases our self-discipline. The step 1 was to process those emotions, to understand that it is trigger, then a story that you create, then it changes your behavior. Processing those emotions helps you to release them. And one side note here is that generally it's when you feel safe enough that those things come up, right? One trigger come up to help you process the next layer of your limiting beliefs. So being you is really a beautiful thing to do, your raw, your wild self. And after that, you choose to build your self-trust, to solidify your self-trust, meaning that despite feeling those emotions, now that you have processed them, maybe it means that you had to cry, you had to shout, you had to talk with someone that you trust after that journaling session, right? After that, you are more balanced in your emotions, understanding that there are benefits and there are drawbacks, right? There are challenges and there is support also. So now you go ahead and do the things that you need to do. In my case, it means showing up to make a video despite the way the day started. Now I have my flowers. Now I'm sitting right here with my casual stuff, with my wild self, showing up to say, hey, we don't need the dressing up always. We can also show up the way we are authentically, and this is enough. So showing up to do this video, for example, and showing up later to teach the course despite the way the self-doubt has come this morning, or the imposter syndrome has come, or me writing and saying I want to give up everything. It's the same for you. If you show up and you don't give up everything, right, this is really going to help you to build that self-trust, to say, hey, there will be self-doubt, there will be lack of self-belief, there will be growth, like pain while growing, right? There will be thought of imposter syndrome, there will be so many limiting beliefs coming up. But despite that, you will choose to go for your dream, right? To put your dream in your heart, to love yourself enough to show up for yourself, to show up for your dream, to show up for that vision that you have, so that the persisting insecurities, the persisting limiting belief, the persisting doubt and fear don't hold you back, right? Well, this is a scenario. There is also another scenario where after that journaling session, you will feel the call to rest more, especially if you have been pushing your limits too much in the past days. You can feel called to rest. So that is also okay, and that is also a possibility. You choose to take that day off to be just there for yourself or for your emotion, to feel everything, but then also make a plan for the next day or the next week, depending on how much time you need, right? But promise to yourself that you are not giving up on yourself, you are not giving up on your dreams, right? Despite the persisting insecurities and self-doubt and limiting belief. So love yourself enough to continue to follow your dreams when you are going through those phases of persistent insecurity. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss a video that I upload. Also, if you are ready to dive even deeper, check out my courses on my webpage. Currently, I'm doing the course on feminine energy and on manifestation. Alright, so until next time, stay inspired. I love you. Bye bye. Mwah.